Mr. Clean is the second segment of the 20th episode of the third season of Rugrats, and in this one, Chuckie is playing in the garbage. And needless to say, Chaz sees this and kind of loses his mind a bit because he begins to worry that Chuckie's going to get covered in germs. And Chuckie at this point isn't really aware of germs, but true in keeping with Chuckie's personality, as soon as he finds out about the germs, he becomes paranoid. And when he's playing with Tommy, Phil, and Lil, they make sure that they have fun, but Chuckie tells them they can't. They're not allowed to play with pretty much anything because germs can be on everything, which is true, but it definitely goes to show that when you teach a child about germs, you need to be very careful. There's a fine line between making a child aware of germs and making a child terrified of germs. And unfortunately, because Chaz is overprotective of Chuckie, it kind of went too far. And now Chuckie is passing on that message to Tommy, Phil, and Lil. But the other babies are not quite as bothered and they are quite happy to play in the garbage. I will say I loved how the garbage was animated. It was really good fun to see the kinds of things they decided to animate. Things that people had thrown out. There was Reptar cereal, I think there was a feather duster, all kinds of things that made it visually very entertaining. And of course, we had the classic kind of stink lines, which just made it feel kind of disgusting, but young children don't necessarily care, apart from Chuckie. And I thought it was a good episode. It definitely goes some way to saying that germs are everywhere, but that means you can't escape them, so there's no point in trying to be overcautious. Be sensible, don't go too far. I think it's definitely an episode for young children who might be in the same position as Chuckie to help teach them that, yes, there are germs, but it doesn't mean you have to put on a germ suit like Chuckie did. If your fear of germs is getting in the way of you having fun with your friends, then that's a problem. It's also a good lesson for parents to show that if your child discovers germs, you need to handle the topic sensitively and make them really aware of the importance of hygiene, but don't make them develop OCD because it's not a good thing, and especially a child of Chuckie's age. He's far too young to be over worrying. I say that worry is Chuckie's middle name, so it's completely expected, and I think it worked very well. This episode could have worked with Angelica as well, with Angelica being the one to tell Chuckie about the germs, but I think having Chaz tell Chuckie meant it was a really good lesson for parents who are perhaps watching it with younger children, or just adults in general who watch it. If you're going to have a conversation with children about germs, use Chuckie as an example of what not to aim for. So I think there are definitely different things to be gained from this episode, depending on whether you're the child or an adult. But either way, I think it was very well done. Definitely a really good narrative, an important topic, very well animated. Ultimately, a pretty decent episode.